Brazil. Good afternoon, Jeremy. The project reference that Marcos asked me to show today is basically it's a pluvial and sewage gallery. Okay, it's one of the biggest projects that we have done in Brazil, and it's a very recent project. It's called ET2. Okay, that's basically is a river interceptor in São Paulo. Wait. Okay. The solution for for this project is the concrete door ceiling in a pluvial and sewage gallery. Okay, the gallery it was built to conduct the pluvial water, but here in Brazil we have some situations where in a pluvial gallery a lot of sewage from the neighborhoods they are conducted to this gallery. So the reality is that we have more sewage than pluvial water in this project, the gallery. The main products that were used is in the ET2. It was the Msinject 23 OMV and the one component from the 2133. Okay. And the final customer, it was a consortium that was formed to participate in this public bid. Okay, so the name of our customer is Tietê Interceptor Consortium, and they won the bid for this stretch tube that are composed for some galleries. Field of expertise, it was sewage, and the owner of the project, so the owner that opened the bid, it is Sabesp, that is one of the biggest sewage and water companies here in Brazil. They grown up in São Paulo, so mainly they are the owner of the water and the sewage in the state of São Paulo. The project designer, it was also Sabesp, and so the construction company, it was the consortium that won the bid. It was formed by three construction companies, three big ones. And the applicator, it was also formed by the consortium team. Okay, so the consortium, as soon as they won the bid, they hired some experienced applicators, experienced guys from application injection companies, and they did the job by themselves. They also bought some equipment, so considering it was a big project, they formed a team only for this project. City, São Paulo, and this project started in the end of 2020, and it is going to end in the beginning of next year. So we have 3-4 more months of project. Before talking specifically what we did in the project, here we have the volumes. Okay, so it was about 29,000 liters of 23 ONV and 37,000 liters of 2133. So big volume for us, and I expected turnover close to 600,000 euros. The challenge for this project and how MC contributed to solve them. Okay, so the ET2 stretch tube that is project is formed by some galleries that run side by side with a very big river that we have in São Paulo, that is the Tietê River, and these galleries, they were built close to 20-25 years ago. The construction was not concluded at that time, and considering there was no connection with the existing main interceptor, the gallery had never been used. Okay. The project consists on building new galleries and connect them to the main gallery that is exactly where we are doing the job. And in the main gallery, considering they had a lot of leakage problems, the big project for injection was to waterproof, to seal all the joints from the main gallery. Okay. I separated also some videos so you will understand a little bit what was the main gallery situation. And IMSE helped with the fast and practical solution to seal the joints with less interruption on the traffic. Okay, so these galleries, side by side with this big river that cuts all São Paulo city in the middle, we have the main avenue of the city. Okay, here in Brazil we call it marginal. So it's a avenue with 6 or 7 lines. So basically it's a road in the middle of the city. I have a photo here. So these galleries, okay, this main gallery, it crossed all these lines, all the marginal, all this avenue, and it was very important to use something that could seal the gallery very fast. Okay, even though we would take too much time to do the job, and also the work period, it was only at the night, so they needed some fast solution. How did we convince the customer to choose MC? So the involvement of MC Bauchemy started in 2016 when we did a job with Sabesp, when we started to do some conversations with Sabesp about the project. Okay, so Sabesp is a customer from MC for more than 15 years. Okay, they were one of the first customers here in Brazil, and they always call it MC when they have big problems in some projects. So it's very common we do this designing job in the backgrounds with Sabesp. After writing the descriptive memorial, Sabesp opened the bidding. So after doing this the project, okay, for seeing the main gallery in 2016, they opened the bidding 2 years ago, and as soon as we had the winner, that it was the consortium AEE, formed by these 3 big companies, that we also have some commercial content, we started doing the job during the project. So in Sabesp project, they were described MC products, so that was the first step to win this project. Okay, having our names, the product names in the project. So the companies that formed the consortium called at first MC. So we have the first opportunity to talk technically and to make the first proposal. Another topic that was important for the customer, for the consortium to choose MC, it was the reliability. Okay, considering it was a big project and just below the main avenue in São Paulo, with very high responsibility, they wanted also a company that they could believe not only in the solution, in the quality of the products, but also if they needed some technical support in any time of the project, they know that we would help them. One of our colleagues said today that I think in Denmark we had some raw material, for example, and problems. In this project we also had in the beginning, I remember in the end of last year that I talked to Marcos about the volumes, and we didn't know if it would be possible to have all the volume in the beginning of the project, but we were very transparent, and so this make part also for the reliability to have a open information about the problem. So they choose MCA. It was also one of the topics. The training, of course, we were every time together with them, and something maybe one of the most important topics, it was the close relationship that MC had and have today with Sabesp. So the owner also had a big way to choose MC. Okay, so they said, okay, we need something that has someone that we know. We have some technical reports that they asked us to do in the beginning of the project, related with the procedure, with the packers installation, on how to comport the applicators inside the gallery. So since the beginning, it was a very tough job. Okay, it took a lot of time from all the MC team. About the sales process, basically, as soon as the consortium won the bid, okay, we did some tests, some local tests, firstly to make it possible to have the volumes for the project. So we did this test to have an idea on how much resin would the consortium use in the project. We had some periodic visits, technical notes, the training, and finally at on December 2020, we signed the global contract for the project. Okay, so it was a way from MC Bauchimie to guarantee the whole volume. We knew that our two main competitors that here in Brazil is Sika and Webac for big projects. They already knew about this project, so we treated this contract as a global contract to guarantee some prices also, but guarantee also the volume to the end of the project. And here are also the names from our team that participated in each step. Okay, so talking about the project details, okay, I will get in the photos and videos right now. So the type of damages, it basically, the technical scope was sealing the concrete double joints inside the gallery, avoid groundwater infiltration, and also leakage when used as a sewage contribution. Okay, so they didn't want, Sabesp didn't want the sewage to go to the soil, and they also didn't want the water, the groundwater, to get inside the galleries and raise the sewage contribution to be treated. The size of the galleries, okay, so we had basically two galleries with together they were about 3,000 meter extension. Okay, one of them it was 1.5 meters diameter, and the other one 1.2. So that was also a challenge in the project. The access was very bad. Okay, if you see the applicators that were contracted, I don't know if it was proposed or not, but the most of the applicators they are small people, because big people it's very hard to work. So the access was very bad, and the total joints extension, okay, considering the transversal joints and also the longitudinal joints and longitudinal joints between the transversal joints, we had about 30,000 meters joints to be sealed. Okay, of course, not all of them had problems in the water stop, but most of them, I would say, maybe 70 or 80% of this complementary. So the joint treatments avoid two problems. Okay, so the purpose of the injection was exactly avoid the sewage leakage. Okay, from internal the gallery to the ground, to the soil, and also avoid the groundwater infiltration from outside to inside the gallery, increasing the volume contribution, and so as a consequence increasing also the sewage volume to be treated. They don't want one or other problems. Here a scale model for the project. Okay, so this it was a scale made by the consortium. Here we have one of the access. It was the first gallery. The access was by an avenue close to the marginal, to the marginal. It was in front of the Carnival Arena. Okay, so who knows São Paulo? There is a big Carnival Arena in the Marginal Tietê, and one of the access was exactly in front of the marginal. Okay, here we have one of the manholes, and here a photo from inside of the gallery. So this is the 1.5 diameter gallery. Okay, these joints, they were we have one transversal joint every 60 centimeters. Okay, so every 60 centimeters we have a vertical transversal joints in all the perimeter of the gallery, and we also have some longitudinal joints between the transversal joints. Okay, here the situation, the beginning of the project, a lot of water. The gallery was more or less 15 meters below the avenue. Okay, so the water contribution for the ground, for the soil, was very strong. Here some photos during the injection. So we are using more foam than it was considering in the beginning, because the water flow is very good. Here we can see the access. Okay, so we need to every applicator, every guy needs to walk with a small chair, so it's impossible to do the job with no chair. So they walk a little bit, put the chair and sit, walk a little bit, put the chair and sit. Okay, all the product was made with the normal packets. Okay, so since the beginning we were trying to change for the IBC to make our margin better, but they were using they prefer to use the normal packets. And here the start of the service in the second gallery. Okay, the second gallery, that is the 1.2 diameter gallery, it started in June of this year, so 4 or 5 months ago, and the access was even harder than the first one, but it's the same thing. During all this time, okay, this this 1 year and a half, mainly VBAC tried to get in the project, even with the global contract. They tried to get in, but one of the characteristics from our product that also helped a lot after signing the contract to keep the volume till the end of the product, it was the 2133 being one component. Okay, so having a one component product made the life of the applicator much easier, and the applicators, the main guy from the application team, he just said, okay, we don't want two-component foam is the biggest volume here in this project. So these characteristics from the 2023 helped a lot, to keep the volume to the end. Okay. So here's some photos, and I will show some videos right now, just you to understand. So can you hear can you see the videos? So this one is the gallery view. Okay, just to show a little bit inside the gallery, how the application team stays inside. So a lot of packers. Many times we use together with the injection before installing the packers, we use some fast repairing mortars, okay, just to make a pre-water blocking. Here also a video from the beginning of the product. It was before, it was in the test stage, okay, it was the end of 2020. This was a very critical stretch from the gallery that had a lot of water leakage. So the joints, the rubber that existed between these transversal joints, they were very, it was more than 20 years gallery, so the rubber and the water stop rubber was not working anymore, so we had this very critical situation, okay? Here a treated joint, so this was a treated joint during the tests. So after treating the joints, it was the same joints that I showed in the last video. That was after the injection. So this was the test stage to approve the system, the exact system that would be used. Here a video in the beginning of this year, so an injection video. You can see the applicator, the applicator size cannot be a very tall guy. And finally, in this project, when we were starting the second gallery this year, we tried to homologate the IBC in the project. So it was also some interesting tests that we did in this project. So in June of this year, we saw that we knew that the margin of the resins for this big project, to avoid Febac and Sika, we had to decrease a little bit the prices, and the margin was about 28-29%. Okay, so we saw an opportunity to increase the margin, changing the normal package for the IBC. So considering that we had 4 IBCs in storage, we made an offer to the application, to the consortium, okay, engineer, to make a test with the IBC, but considering it was not possible to get the IBC inside the manholes, okay, the visit manholes, we tested a closed system with the idea to pump the resin from the IBC that would stay in the jobs, okay, in the avenue, directly to the manhole. For that, we involved a equipment company, okay, that rented a diaphragm pump, a very small diaphragm pump. and a pump that could pump the 2133 and also the 2301V along 100 meters, okay, of gallery, considering that the distance from one manhole to the other, so the access from one to the other manholes, it was 100 meters. We needed at least 100 meters tubes to get the resin to the injection point. So that was the test that we did. I will show some videos also. Okay. In the end, we didn't homologate. Okay, the test was successful. We installed along the PEAD tube with 100 meters. We installed some valves and some non-return valves, but the company in the end they thought it would be very difficult to manage that, considering we should guarantee the closed system. But just to end this presentation, I will show the IBC test. Okay. So here we have this tube, this PED tube coming from the avenue, getting the 15 or 20 meters height to the entrance of the gallery. And this test, of course, we didn't do it till the 100 meters to the middle of the gallery, but we did it with 15 or 20 meters inside the gallery, just to evaluate if it was possible to pump the closed. The test was made with the 2133, okay, and we just made this test. It worked very well, but in the end they opted not using the system. Okay. And the idea of using the IBC for us was to raise the margin, and for the applicator was avoid bringing all the packets inside the gallery. So basically this was the test, and that's it. I hope it's clear.